Boom.
Yes, Joe.
Yes, mate.
What's good, man?
Good, man. I was just humming along there.
Yeah,
I don't want to play. No, I love the intro. To be fair,
everybody.
Why the boom? Why did you use
the clock thing?
Yeah,
it's from when we beat them in the when Somerville scored, but
yeah,
and then it became like a joke, and then I took it off because it had been God knows how long since we beat them or beat anybody at that point. But I was hounded by at least 5 people to put it back on, so I thought I better put it back on.
Do it, man.
So yeah, man. But thanks for coming on, Joe. Genuinely, the first guest we've had on is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. So I do appreciate it, man. I've had a yogurt, I've had some chicken thighs and that to prepare, get ready. So is it a bit surreal getting asked questions, or what are you saying?
Nah, I like it, mate, and I like you. So, man, I'm great. I am full of gratitude to be on and be your debut guest.
Well, you should not be. So I appreciate all you do for me, sir. So yeah,
legend, man.
Breaking news: have you seen that the Lynx thing, Lynx Africa, been discontinued? No. I don't know whether I've been had on Twitter or not, but I saw it about 10 minutes ago, and I thought I'm going to have to say something about this. Lynx Africa apparently has been discontinued. So you heard it here first. Well, unless you've already heard it, but you heard it here first if you haven't heard it.
It is, yeah, rest in our Africa.
I don't know whether it's just like a bit of a ploy or something, but I was like surprised how upset I was about that.
Yeah.
Not upset. Didn't get literally upset, but stunned.
It's gotta be a campaign because they're like, maybe one day Lynx Africa will make a legendary company. It's probably their best-selling one, isn't it? Why would they get rid of that or chocolate?
Yeah. They'll have to get it back. There's been so many funny comments on Twitter, though, because it's like everybody's like older brother in it, Lynx Africa.
Yeah,
before, like going out to clubs, like just lathering up in it and changing rooms at school and stuff, just like dominated by Lynx Africa on it. I actually like it. Do you like it?
Yeah, I don't mind it, mate.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm all for it. So yeah, it's end of an era, and hopefully start of a new Leeds one, isn't it? So we should be rocking and rolling. What do you reckon, Joe? Genuinely, because obviously I've joked about the 10-point gap, but I've done a bit of maths, which is not my strong point. To get a 10-point gap, they'd obviously have to drop 10 points, which is 4 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, or 3 wins, 5 draws, and no losses. So when you actually put it like that, I was a bit like, well, if we win every single game and they only win 4 and draw 2, 10 points is on.
Yeah. I'm less confident than I was, mate. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, it looked like we were going to do it as well, didn't we? Got to 5 points.
After Sheffield United and Sunderland, mate, that was it. We were done. I genuinely felt, right, we will now go on a run. And, we've allowed it to get tight again. But, yeah, I think we'll be all right, mate. I think, we've got Swansea when we come back. That's 3 points for me. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. Because, do you know what's funny, though, as well, Jack, in the scene, obviously? People are, like, coming for me, like, going, what's happened to Temp? And I'm like, we're top at least. I hope you don't think I'm going to be asked. We could win it on goal difference. I would not be asked. Well, I'm not going to be going, do you know what I mean? It's just a prediction I made that he's going to be wrong. So, do you know what I mean? It's fine. It's like saying, I'm going to think we'll win this game and you don't. Like, it's fine. You know what I mean?
I can't help but think it's not necessarily that much of a bad thing, if we don't sort of run away with it. It sort of keeps us competitive to the... I know this sounds mad, but then it sort of puts it on 49ers a little bit more. It's like we've not run away with it. There's been a lot of teams that have, like how Mint Burnley were with Company and stuff. And then I know they were probably going to get battered when they went up anyway, but it's just like, I don't know. There's like, are we much better than this league? And at the moment, it feels like we're getting out of this league, but with a couple of teams with us. Do you know what I mean? Very similar to how it was last year. I know they've crumbled as well, but I don't think it's always necessarily a good thing to just run off with league, really.
Yeah. No, I hear you, mate. And maybe the gap isn't as big as we first envisaged. Although when I look at both of their squads, I mean, I actually think Burnley's squad is better than Sheffield United's. It's just they've got my mate Chrissy in, haven't they? So they know what they're doing. But
well, Andrea's got Burnley up, hasn't he? He reckons us and Burnley.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, maybe we do get that 10-point gap, but it's only to Sheffield.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's all I'll do as well. If we get 10 points to like 4 for something, I'll go, well, I did mean to Sunderland at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when I said it, it's come true. But promotion is obviously, how bad do you think it goes? If, I mean, you do, what's your percentage that we're going up, firstly?
I'm still on, yeah. I'm
how
still...
How high?
95%?
Yeah, boss.
Yeah, I'm still
how,
on.
How bad do you think it goes if we don't go up? What do you think? What do you think happens?
I tell you what, like, if we don't go up, oh, God, I mean, the manager will get sacked. We lose a host of players again. And then, the main thing I'm worried about, Jack, is next season's going to be rock hard. I was talking to Locks, a Leicester fan, about it last night, and Birmingham and Wrexham come up. We'll spend loads of money. Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton come down. I think Sunderland will have a good go next year. You've then got Coventry, who might not go up, could then kick on under Lampard. I think next year he's going to be solid. And I just think, as being a third-year parachute team, losing more players, more churn, need a new manager, it actually could be, like, catastrophic. Like, if we didn't go up this time,
Yeah, I do. I think it's terrifying prospect. Do you think there's an element of in Farke's head with that? Because I know he knows he's getting the sack, doesn't he? But do you think there's an element where it's a huge failure in it for him? If he don't, because he's done it with all like the lower clubs, really, the clubs that everybody like, oh, amazing job. But this is like, he does have all the tools to get us up, doesn't he? So
yeah, it'd be a failure, mate, wouldn't it? Like, the mad thing is, between him and Parker, like, Chris Wilder's gone up twice. Chrissy. Mate, you better get this Badger in, because they're all going on about it.
I haven't even looked at chat once, to be fair. Badger's just
get it in and on and over.
We'll get Badger in and on and over a bit later on. Don't worry about the Badger.
They're all going mad for it in the chat, but so Chris Wilder's gone up twice, Parker's gone up twice, Farke twice. So it's like you've got like championship top tier coaches, and one of them's gonna, because it will be considered a failure for any of them, really. If Farke wins the league, I think he's the first manager to win it 3 times. So that's another thing that he has on his CV. I think he actually might be tied with what's his face, our mate McCarthy. He can, you know what I mean? So I mean, he's got to do it, mate. Because if not, he's for the high jump, and he's for the sack.
Do you think it's a bit harsh, the critics that Farke's got for being in the Prem? There's not really a lot of managers go up and really, run riot, is there? So I know Bielsa did well. Your mate Chrissy Wilder did well for a year. There is a few. Enzo's ended up going to Chelsea, so that's skewed, isn't it? Really.
You could say Nuno's up there as well, like Nuno when he took Wolves up, and then he goes Spurs, and now look at him at Forest. So
Eddie Howe did well. To be fair,
Eddie Howe, fucking hell, yeah. There's a few. But it is difficult.
Just on Farke, what do you reckon? Do you think it's a bit harsh on him being with Norwich and going up?
I don't think it's a fair assessment, mate. I don't think it's a fair assessment, because he had nothing, man. He had nothing. At least he knows with this squad, with the team that we've got, he's gonna get some backing. Parag said that as well. Like, when he first came in, he didn't get the right backing. I think they will back him, and I'm quite excited for that. As a content creator, it's going to be an amazing summer for us if we do go up. So, yeah, I think it's unfair. It's like, do you know what it's like? I hate it when people tell me, why would we take that player because he's been relegated? And it's like, it's the same for the manager as well. You can't really, until they've had some sort of parity with the competition in the league, you can then look at it and go, well, he had a good enough squad in the league and didn't go. That Norwich team was not good enough, And when you've spent like 5 million for the Premier League is insane. We need to spend minimum like 150. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's mad, mate. It's because the thing is as well, you'll know yourself, like, the scouting and all that sort of stuff so vast now, but it's the same for managers. So Leeds United will already have a list of potential coaches if it goes tits up for him. You know what I mean? So it's
They'll be lining that up already, won't they, for this
100%.
season? If it had gone wrong at around Christmas time, they'd have had a couple of people in on waiting list, won't they, for certain?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you think as well? Because I think there's a lot more pressure on Farke in general being at this club. I mean that just comes with territory, but going up as well.
Yeah.
Is this probably the best opportunity he's going to get in his career to have like a solid Premier League side? Because
he don't get another go at it. He don't get another go at it. No one's giving him another go at it, are they, Jack? You know, his only way in is through the Championship. You know what I mean? That's his only way in, and I feel that me, you, and a few others from game week 1 will be having a bat away calls for him to be sacked. I swear.
I'm going to talk to you about this. Literally, one of the things I've got is it worth all the daftness now that's occurring? Because the thing is, everybody says it's happy clapping and stuff. So my question is, do you think it's easier to support or easier to be negative and moan about it?
I just think sometimes with football fans, and normally they're the loud minority, it's like everything is so black and white and like so linear, and whereas sometimes I feel you need to just maybe take a step back. Look, me and you could not stand Jesse. Why? Because we could see it was not going anywhere. It was never going to go anywhere. Yet the same people, they came for Bielsa regardless of what you say. Some of them have actually fallen on the sword and say, yeah, I got it wrong. Well, how could you not see in the moment that you were getting it wrong? That's what I don't understand. But you know why? Because you're too reactionary. You're too like, now, not. Actually, we've just, like that Bielsa sacking, I know me and you love him. Like, we just played Arsenal, Spurs, you had teams throwing in games saying all our players have COVID and our manager were too honest, playing kids on the bench. When them fixtures turned, Bielsa would have fucking coasted it. But no one had that. Let's just wait, you know?
He deserved that as well, Joe. And everybody goes, sentimental FC and that, but he did deserve that. He deserved the run of fixtures. And if the players did turn it in on him, because there were a few rumours, weren't there, where they sort of threw towel in a little bit.
Yeah.
If they did, I think that's on another level. Do you know? And I hate saying this, but I disliked the club for a good couple of weeks. I was struggling winning the games. We had like, I think
I haven't been back, you know. I've not been back in that ground since Bielsa was sacked.
Have you not?
No. It ruined football for me.
It did me. I couldn't believe it was happening. And I was aware that it was on like a downward thing. And like I was speaking to a few people saying, oh, no, you know, but maybe it was time and stuff. I just like, it means a bit more to me than that, though. And then you get, like you say, Jesse in. What is it? I could smell that. I don't care how much of like football knowledge you have or haven't got. There's a certain like scent to stuff, like Lynx Africa. Certain things that just, you just know what that is. And I knew what Jesse Marsch was. And anybody that says he kept us up as well is in cloud cuckoo land, because the year after, when he had a full year at it, got some of his jenks in to play for us, he sent us down. I know we can look at the metrics and all this stuff, but we were nowhere near it, were we? So he was awful. And I know people got behind him.
I could see from way back that this guy ain't got. People were backing him, bro. He played Rafinha right wing back.
God, man.
He's in course for a Ballon d'Or, and that guy thought he was a right fucking wing back. That tells you all you need. I'm not a manager, right? But I know Rafinha's not a right wing back. I know I don't put my best attacking output on throw-ins, regardless of how long he can fucking throw them. You need him to be the one you're throwing the ball to.
I know, go short and give him it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give him the ball, right? Win the ball, even if his tactics will win the ball and give it to Rafinha.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do that. I'd have been more up for that.
Yeah, that's a better tactic.
Just give him it. Just give him it. It's like, what didn't you do? Why didn't you give him it? You fucking give him it. Ridiculous.
I could see that from way back. I remember saying in the preview we're going to get walloped by Chelsea, and we got walloped like 3-0, and I was like, we're going nowhere under this guy. And even the final day, they had 9 men, and we were I'm going on my watch. They've got 9 men. Like, someone get their foot on it, chill. But they were just like, boom, boom, boom. You could have just passed round them for like 20 minutes, man. Honestly. Crazy.
It was astonishing, honestly. It was the worst. And there were a few things that sort of papered over cracks with it, weren't there? Like a few results and like last-minute winners. And
winning on the final day and Rafinha jumping in the crowd and all that shrouds people's... And I get that. I get it, because it was an amazing moment, but...
Marsch.
Yeah, no.
You could argue, and nobody likes me saying this, but that's like the reminiscence of Bielsa, isn't it? It's like the leftovers of Bielsa, really. You could argue that's, you know... But yeah, he made all them players. I think he's... Funnily enough, I think people have forgotten really quite quickly, and I know Bielsa will sort of stay within many, many fans, but I don't think that legacies are built now, and he did it in a couple of years, really. Do you know what I mean? Normally, like obviously Ferguson and Wenger and that, but they were there forever. So what would a football legacy be now if it ain't Bielsa?
It's mad to think, and I've always said, like, he had a Wenger, Klopp, Ferguson type impact on this football club in the space of about 3 years. It's mad, like what he did. But if you go back historically, it's the same at Chile. It's the same. It's same everywhere he's been. He is just that guy. I
believed it as well, Joe. I believed him.
Bro, you know when we got beat that night, and I walked from the ground to the buses where they take you back to Staunton, Staunton thing where you get. And I walked up the stairs, and I'll never forget it. And the tweet came through and I was angry at Phil A, because I was like, you've got an exclusive and you've just fucking dunked on him. How dare you? I was angry at the club. I just became proper like, do you know what? This ain't it was a fairy tale, mate. It was a fairy tale, that. It's now transactional. You know what I mean? Like, I used to buy, for example, Jack, I used to buy the shirts, home away third, every season. I haven't for a while. I only bought the yellow this time because it was Smiley. I don't know if I'm becoming old and bitter because I'm 37, but it was like every season, got to get it, not wait till it's £20, get it. And then I just was like, no, you're not getting me fucking money anymore.
Yeah, it did put me off. I mean? It did put me off. I couldn't believe it. I really, even after the results, I just thought, what? Yeah. I don't know. Like I say, I just believed everything he said, everything he stood for. Like I remember when we went through that patch where there were a few clubs apparently like sniffing round and that, and I was so adamant. I was like, well, it won't be him going.
No, exactly.
He won't. I believed him. I believed that he wouldn't just go. Oh well, I can't remember who it was, but I think the Premier League side wanted snouting it or something. And like,
man, there was all sorts. Yeah,
while we were decent, and I just knew I was like, no, he stays with us until unfortunately something bad happens. Yeah. But you were quite hard on Rads with it all, weren't you as well? You know,
I couldn't stand any of them, mate. Rads.
I sympathise slightly with Rads, though. You see, Joe.
Yeah.
I just think with all there were nothing more riding on it for him than I can't help but genuinely, even though I think Rads did a lot of good for the club as well. So it's like,
of course,
I know you're not saying that. I'm not trying to.
No,
an argument.
Look, mate, Cholino did good for the club. He got us in a position to sell to Rads. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that was chaos, wasn't it? And I know we turned to chaos in Rads, but something I quite liked about him as well. I thought he was quite charming. Basically, what I'm saying is I don't think he then deserved what he got when what he gets on Twitter, because he must have a sour taste.
When he tried to, in the end, when he tried to put up Ellen Road as capital for a loan, like that was like, you mother.
Well, yeah, but they're just the Sharks, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's not a Leeds fan, is he? Do you know what I mean? The 49ers aren't Leeds fans, so it's just like, you know, it'd have been better off not sort of bullshitting with it, really, and just being a little bit more like, you know.
It was Walt, though, mate, owner of a football club, messaging fucking YouTubers on Twitter and that at half time.
That honestly, I don't know how a man of his stature even goes about doing that.
No, it's mental, isn't it?
That blew my mind. That annoyed me more than all, because I just thought, like I said to you before on your show, like, just shut up and stay out of way and make your decisions. And nobody, you don't have to answer to anybody. I know, even if clubs are going,
someone him that big should not be aware of you, of us.
No way.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then you can't come. Then you can't be silent because you're talking to nobodies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that move in general of him, really.
Yeah, I think he thought. I think he thought he was going to get favour, like, oh, he cares. When really, like, are you for real, you fucking idiot?
Yeah. There was just a lot of money riding on it. I wouldn't like to be in that position, is my only point. I know it all went ropey. Many people disagree with it. It's just, you know, if I had a couple of £100 riding on it, I'd be shitting my kegs. So if, you know, we were talking millions upon millions if we stayed up, weren't we, in terms of the money he'd have made. So it's just, I just sympathise with that slightly. He will have been in panic mode. And I don't think he's the most wealthy man in the world, is he, either? He needed rid at club as well. So, but we are in a good spot now. I mean, you know a bit more about finances than that, don't you, Joe? What do you reckon we can and will spend next year if we go up?
Well, I think it's going to be. I think was it Joe who told me it's minimum like 150? I don't know where these figures come from, mate. But to be honest, you've got to spend that to be competitive. The facts are we don't. The squad is good, but it's not Premier League. And if they think they can do it on the cheap, then we'll just get relegated, mate. I'm still cross that we didn't do out in January, because I just feel, you know, I know you're smiling, but I just feel in these games where we have struggled and looked a bit jaded. But then again, it's a catch-22, Jacks. I put it back to you, bro. Like, it's not as if he ain't got changes for wings, and he don't fucking change it. He's got Ramazani and Gnonto. Listen, I back the manager. I side with his decisions, and that's why people call me a happy clapper or whatever, right? But my point is, even if he did have a 10, would he have used him? Because you can't tell me Ramazani and Gnonto aren't good enough wingers in this division. And like you've said before on my show, the drop-off's not that deep. The drop-off's not, you know, we're not playing fucking, I don't know, Joseph to fucking Pirro, are we? There's quite a drop-off there. But with Gnonto and Ramazani, there is not. And he's still not using them, so there's no guarantees he'd have used it anyway, really. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I sort of tried to say that other day on yours, like about Aronson. It's like, and I don't think Aronson's the best player in the world, and we need a better 10 than Aronson. I don't think anybody denies that. The only reason I defend him is because I think whoever you bring in has to be significantly better. It's like when people are saying, oh, well, if Rutter had some competition, but Rutter doesn't have competition in that position, does he? No. So what's the point? And I'm not saying that of Aronson. I just mean unless somebody's coming straight into the side, particularly for the signing him, I could understand a loan where, you know, you bring someone in and they sort of share the minutes. But unless you're bringing someone in that's significantly better than Aronson, one thing it does do is it eliminates the excuse this summer, because the whole narrative that, you know, we didn't spend in January because when we get to summer, they'll put some money down. It does eliminate that, doesn't it?
It makes me laugh that though when people say that they're saving money, and I'm like, what? Do you think they've fucking got a little piggy bank that they're putting?
I'm saying it eliminates that, Joe.
There's no excuse.
That's out of water now, isn't it? Because you just go, 100%. Well, no, didn't you save all this money?
Yeah.
You know, so.
Take Sheffield United, they've got what, 10 million on Tom Cannon, haven't they? So they have to pay that. I think it might even be more. And he's not even getting a game now, so he's not going to play in Prem. So, like, you know, and you, I think you might have mentioned that's why you probably got a nice little wry smile on your face, bro. But
no, I didn't mention that. No, it's just you know, I had to sit through January, everybody telling me that everybody else is strengthening, and where only ones that are not. And I've said from the get-go, we're not in competition with them. We could have lost that. We could have lost the games to them. It wouldn't. I mean, points-wise, obviously, before everybody jumps down the throat, it made a difference. But we're learning now. You don't win the game on beating the top teams. We did it all last season, done it all this season. So whether or not we're not in competition with them, certainly for the last 8 games. Anyway, I don't care how strong their squad is going up. Do you know what I mean? We only have to beat the dross that we've beat this season, first half round. So, you know, I mean, I was looking through fixtures, to be fair, and everybody, more or less, bar a couple of teams, have got, like, they really do have something to play for, don't they? But it's nature at league. But, like, Middlesbrough, they're 3 points off playoffs. Stoke are 1 point off drop. And Bristol are level on points for the just goal differences keeping them out of playoffs, which is, you know, that's crazy, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, you know what I'm really banking on is our record against Middlesbrough and Bristol City. I know it's history. I know it shouldn't really matter, but it's there for a reason. We have a great record against them. I think Bristol City's running's rock hard. They've got Burnley, then Sheffield United, then us, or whatever it is. But they've got to play Coventry as well, so maybe they might be out of it by then. But ultimately, this squad of players has to use the experience of last season, Jack, and come through it, mate. Like, we can't be going. Let's see. Well, I think we'll beat Swansea comfortably, right? And we'll be sound. And then we go to Luton, 12:30. And it's like, okay, can you show your quality down there? Because we know that that's a fixture. Look, especially when the pressure's on, we got beat by Portsmouth. We draw 2-2 with QPR after throwing 2 shit goals away. Can we go to... Honestly, home games I'm not concerned about. Genuinely, I'm not. Bristol City, Stoke, whoever they are. Luton away, can we? If we're struggling 20 minutes, that's where the real pressure lies for us, Jack. Because I think I don't know what I think it's because of the size of the club, mate. I genuinely think it's not something you can quantify, man. It's because of the size of the club, the amount of fans. We're bigger than this division. I don't care what anyone says. I know, we've been in it for 2 decades now, and you could argue we're more of a championship club. Yeah. But I think there's just an untold pressure that comes with that, and because of our history, like the amount of times, man, when you hear that fucking Leeds are falling apart again, it's infuriating, mate. It proper infuriates me. Like, it's a bit tongue in cheek but when you're in the ground, you'll know yourself, and you're getting beat and you're throwing it away, and they're going, Leeds, I just want to start booting cars and that as I'm walking back. You know what I mean? It's just. And this is what we do, you straight away. Even club admins are getting on it and that, play that tune, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, man, we are a meme. We're a meme, so
we're a meme the other way as well, aren't we? That's
100%. Yeah.
It's only because people care both.
Yeah,
sides.
Of course. Yeah. I'd rather be us than a nothing that nobody. To be honest, mate, if you were to poll the 20 clubs in the Prem. Out of the 3, they'd all want Leeds promoted.
Yeah,
I spoke to my mate Cass last night, who's a Man United fan. He went, look, I'm a Man United, but I want you back. I want that rival. I speak to a lot of fans of it because Leeds United are a big club, bring, a bit of rivalry, bring something to games.
Well, it's just mint fan base, isn't it? Mint, and not even on history, just it's a one city club, isn't it? Which massively matters. It's it is enormous. Also, you kind of like having the rivals in general anyway, don't you? I know you love Chrissy Wilde. I didn't realise you actually liked him. I thought you liked him as a rival, but I like him as a rival. You physically like him, and that's fine. But
it's sound like it's fine, mate.
The league does. It's not fine. But the league's better with him in it, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
And it's better. And I know Scott Parker's a bit boring, but the league's better with him, and at least he's a name. And then even Carrick, I know they're not been great, but it's just when the big, even Coventry with Lampard and stuff, it's just what football's all about, isn't it? Because it'd be a ball fest, really, wouldn't it? If not, what's going on? Personality wise, it's a lot of it.
Yeah, of course it is, man. You need characters. You need characters in the game, Jack, because it'd be boring, man. That's why I know I thought he was a bit of a knob, but Klopp and all that sort of stuff. I love Mourinho. I absolutely love Mourinho for that, man. He's mental, man. But you need characters, don't you? Know what you do.
I liked Klopp at first, when he first got here, and then I thought he turned into a bell end. It became like a caricature of himself. It's when they become too much like the character that they portray, it became like an overextension of that. I don't know. Sometimes I think I get overexposed to people as well, managers and stuff, and then I start to go off them a bit. You see too much of them, don't you? And you think, hang on, he's getting on my nerves a bit. But Mourinho did opposite of that. I didn't like Mourinho when he got here, and then I was like, oh, actually,
he's brilliant, man.
Winning helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course, mate. Of course, he's obviously fallen off a cliff now, and he's he's over in Turkey, isn't he, at Fenerbahce, and I listened to the football ramble, and on the continent, and they're always speaking about him, man. He's still doing mad stuff over there in Turkey, but he's I see what you're saying though with Wilder. He look, it went tits up for him and didn't it, but I just think Sheffield United's his club because he's gone to Middlesbrough. He went to Watford and it all just crumbled. I just think Sheffield United is his club, innit? And he'll be saying the right thing.
He's a good manager, though, isn't he?
Hey?
But then he's still backed as a good manager, which is an interesting... This is kind of my point on everybody, really. So it's like there's like an inconsistency because you've not followed Wilder about that much. You don't really care. But every time he comes to Sheffield, they do all right, don't they?
Yeah.
I know what you're saying with, like, you know, you do just find your own, and like a lot of players do. I think we've got a lot of players with us now, like Amper doing that have genuinely found their space, haven't they?
I think with Wilder, it's an achievement, bro, because he was at Halifax, non-league.
I'm not knocking him, to be fair.
No,
There's other stuff I'm knocking him about, but not
Sheffield United from League One up to the Premier League. He's fucking insane, isn't
he? He's the best manager ever. You know, he's a great bloke. I really like him, but
mad.
Yeah, man. Who's your player at season so far, Joe?
There's a bit of nostalgia attached to it, but I'd like to see Junior Firpo win it, mate, to be honest. I think Tanaka could get it, but I just think, what a journey. What a journey. Mate, obviously, Ash on Twitter puts it out all the time, but there was once upon a time where we're in Premier League and I'm going, I'm a better left back than him.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a better left back. And like to think I've gone from that for me now going, you know, let's get you. I want him to get a new contract. You know what I mean? So it's I think.
I think he probably was a better left back at the time, though, Joe.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. That I genuinely in the Premier League, it was a car crash, mate. A car crash.
It was bad. That was going to be my question, to be fair, because everybody seems to be okay with him leaving, don't they? There's not like an uproar. Nobody's saying, you know, they're not bothered with what the club are doing or whatever. But you'd like to see him back with us next year, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. I think he deserves
we need two, if not. So we need two left backs, if not.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We do, mate. You're right. Ideally, because you know that we are very thin. Our squad's one at smallest in league as it is, and I just think we're pretty thin in defence as well. Like, we're so lucky to have got through with just Rodon and Strauch because. Who else is the mate? James DeBayuk, Gulavogi. I mean, my God, when he played centre back, mate, he was a car crash.
Yeah, it was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was actually interested to see him in that game as well, because I thought, you know, it's interesting. I can't remember because I can't remember if I said this on yours or mine, Joe, but they were like, he's about 4 or 5 years younger than Milner now. I know Milner's been injured this season, but it just goes to show you, age is not like once your legs have gone. So I don't think Gilavogi, he's not out of shape. I can't imagine he looks like he looks after himself. He's a big unit, isn't he, in that? But I think his legs have gone. I can't remember what you said after it had happened. You just said, I think the wheels have fallen off. Mm-hmm. No, the wheels have come off big style. I think that's the best way to say it, really. Yeah. So I just want to address this joke. Somebody put a comments ban from the live. No, Emmett, they're not. I struggle to read and talk at the same time, and I want to do Joe.
You know what you'll be getting, won't they? You'll go, you've changed. You don't even read comments anymore.
Talk to us when Joe's not here.
I get it, man. I get it.
Bro's not here. It's the only time you talk to us.
It's hard to do, though, isn't it, man? But I think people think
it's rock hard. I meant to actually do a bit more of an intro for you when we started, but it's hard to like. It's hard. Do you know what I mean? Because it is awesome what you do, Joe. So I will do it now. But like, you know, your output and stuff and remaining interesting and, you know, to watch, I watch you all the time and that, you know, everybody on my channel does. So it's, you know, much respect because it's not a piece of piss.
Thank you, mate. That means a lot. And you know what as well, like, Jack, folks, people in the chat, this YouTube.
We don't need this on. We don't need to give it back on here. No, because this doesn't happen on yours, Joe. So you won't let it happen. So I'm not. Well, you will let it happen actually.
No,
so you don't shut all down, but you know.
Nah, he's a stand-up guy. He's Jack. Trust me, he did some things for me when my mum passed away. That I'll be forever grateful for. And Yeah, he looks out for you. He's a good guy. So genuinely, folks, like this, you don't know people. There's not that many that are like that you could say, but I would say that Jack's a friend, man. He's a good guy, and he deserves a lot, man. You're a top guy, man. Trust me.
If I'd have known you was going to say that, I'd have done it in the intro. When they got to the
salt of the earth, that's the word, Ming. Salt of the earth.
Yeah. Ming put that in how he abbreviates everything into like TVOR or whatever, and I never know what it is. Well, he did that to me earlier, and I was like, I don't know what that one is. And he wouldn't tell me, and I was like, oh, and then I worked it out. Like, I've heard you say it on your live before, and I was like, oh, salt of the earth. So
cool.
It's like a guessing game. Just to rewind a bit for your favourite player, Joe, or this season. I've just done something weird. Hang on, sorry. Do you reckon Tanaka? I know Tanaka's been mint, and I know he's like a fan favourite and all, and I do think he'll probably be in and around the best player of the season, but I don't know if that really. I think he's been so mint, by the way, but I just think there's sometimes like, have we gone a little bit over the top with him?
I think his level has plateaued. Whether or not that's because we're used to him now, but he was like a different breed when he first came in, and I think maybe it is a case of like now
we sort of set him up to be a different breed, though.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm not even. He proved that, but we sort of went in as though he was like Rafinha on, like on this, like it was on another level.
Blame Lockie for that.
No, I'm up for it. I think he's brilliant, and we'll see how he gets on in Premier League. I feel like there's been I don't know if he's the player of our season. I don't think he has to be. Do you know what I mean? He's
Someone's made a good shout. Rodon in the chat's probably been better.
Rodon's been brilliant.
Yeah.
I think I honestly think Firpo's been amazing, but it's probably I don't know how many games he's missed, but it gets to a point where it's a little bit like But Bogle, I mean, every time we go on your final word, Bogle he spoke about. It's like we can't not mention him. I know he's perhaps fallen off it. But, we're saying that about them all, and we've gone off the boil, haven't we? As form's gone off the boil a little bit. So
that's what I mean. A rest for Bogle's massive, by the way.
Yeah.
Rest for Bogle, rest for Aronson, rest for all the lads that are not going on international duty. Tanaka's obviously... Tanaka's played tonight. Maybe he gets the second game off because they've qualified for World Cup. It came out that Firpo's only going to play one. So this break, and hopefully Craig Bellamy with the Leeds lads will be quite, he might rest a few and all that. So, yeah.
Dan James getting a bit in here.
I don't think by a mile. To be honest, he won't be my favourite. I think he had a really big purple patch.
It was mine for a while.
Yeah.
It's not been quite enough.
No.
For to be fair, for how like consistent Tanaka's been.
Yeah. It's been, yeah. I think the fan base will go Tanaka, but I'd like to see it go Firpo, mate. To be honest,
yeah,
I would. Yeah.
Also, I watched Sol Campbell today on.
I watched it.
Overlap. Did you see it? Yeah,
I listened to it. Sorry, but yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. Did you hear what he was saying about centre backs? When he said like it's a different role, and he was on about like elite centre backs back in the day and how tough it was playing against centre forwards.
Different strikers, yeah.
I'm not really interested in that.
Good point, huh?
Yeah, it's a brilliant point. Our centre backs not basically asked to defend as much as they was?
100%.
Because when he mentioned, he went through like Henri,
all the strikers. Yeah, exactly.
But his third one he mentioned were like Duncan Ferguson, which sounds wild when you put in.
Yeah,
it was just on about a test, didn't he?
100%.
So you're playing centre back against that monster. Exactly. I mean, there's none of that anymore, is there?
I think you're tested more, as wild as this sounds, you're tested in terms of variety more in the Championship than you are in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Because everyone's the same. That's why that first season, Haaland, no one could cope with him, mate.
Yeah.
He was just like so direct, banging people off, and no one could cope. I remember he played Bournemouth and he just bodied someone and he ended up on deck, and they're not used to it. Like, it's, like false nines. They didn't really, it was all in front of him. Whereas, like Sol Campbell said, you had you know, Michael Owen one week running in behind. Next week, you had Duncan Ferguson elbowing you in the face. Do you know what I mean? And when you mentioned like Teddy Sheringham, Andy Cole, Dwight York, there is not strikers that like look at the England setup, right? We've got Harry Kane, really. Back when we were younger, mate, Ian Wright, Andy Cole, they couldn't get a look in at England.
No, I couldn't. You know, as a kid,
not a looking.
I used to love Ian Wright, and obviously when you're that young, you don't really know what's sort of going on this side. That's my older brother. Like, why is he on the bench, Ian Wright? Because I used to love him, but it was just on that basis. And he was like, well, because we're you know, Les Ferdinand's on bench as well, and like, you know, he got 20 goals, or whatever that season, and they all got about 20 goals, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
In league, and then that's just gone as well, hasn't it? There's only a couple of players now that get like into 20.
It's more like wingers, inside forwards, in it these days. That's where your problems, you know, your Sakas, your Salahs, you know, Hazard, and all that sort of stuff. Like the Robbie Fowler was none who never got a look in at England, man, and he was flying at Liverpool.
Fowler was my favourite signing. When we signed, I used to love Fowler. I absolutely loved him.
Remember when we signed Ian Rush?
Well, we're a bit too young for Ian. Well, funnily enough, that is a funny story.
Rush, man.
Because that was the same thing. So I was a tiny. I can't think how old I'll have been, about 6 or something, 7, and I thought it was shit. And this is how bad football is, isn't it? Because I'm a kid, and my elder brother's like, no, man. Ian Wright is a beast. He's just, you know, unfortunately, the two tapes we've got of Ian Rush, he's absolutely whack. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, because he got like 2 goals or something, didn't he? Like,
man.
But you know, it don't get better really. You know,
no,
crazy.
Yeah, mad in it. So, yeah, I think Sol Campbell's bang on because let's be honest, Van Dijk went for I don't even know the stat. Someone could tell us in the chat, but there was a stat where he hadn't been dribbled past in so many games back in the 90s. He'd have had fucking all sorts running at him. Do you know what I mean? Like now, because everything's so in front. Look at how City play. Boom, boom, boom. There's no like, right, get that in the channel. There's the ball behind. Bang.
Overmars and Lundberg and Perez. And
wow.
Like, just rapid. I know people are still rapid and they don't play to that. I mean, I bet there isn't much pace difference between like Rashford and Overmars. I bet Overmars isn't actually that fast. I know he's super fast, but he was known for getting to byline, wasn't he, 100 mile an hour and whipping a decent ball in. Football's just changed. I just wonder whether it'll go back.
Well, no, because I tell you, where was it? I seen it on Instagram. Fernando Torres, who's a coach at Atletico Madrid, said, you have to be an athlete now. Youngsters coming through, you have to be an athlete. If you are not an athlete, you are not going to last anymore. You know, you don't get them. I don't know. Straight away, I don't know why it came. I remembered my mate Eddie, who was small, fat, but technically unreal. And I remembered like Lee Tomlin at Cardiff, who was small, fat, but technically unreal. You don't get them anymore, man. You've got to be.
Fraser Ruddock.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah. You've just got to be. Yeah, it's mad. But that's
why a lot of them had a little, even if it was just a pot belly. You know, Gaza always had a bit of, he ran a bit like that, didn't he? And like a lot of like Waddle and that all sort of centre midfielders, they all had a bit of a podge to them, didn't they? Like pub football, they were just elite at it.
Like Luke says there, Andy Robinson, who was at Spurs and Fulham, I think. Yeah, it's mad. You don't get them anymore, mate. So I do think, it's different, man. Like, look, I don't know about you, but when you played football as a human, right? I played like in Halifax, St. Club, was just daft things. We would go, we would run, we would play a game. That is all training was, right? My daughter goes on a Tuesday now. They've got all the kit, you know, like the slalom stuff, everything. They don't even play a game, bro. They work on set plays and they work on like getting to the byline and crossing, and they'll have 3 defenders and that. And she's 10, 11, bro. But like when we were younger, that wasn't happening, Jack. On the grass, wherever I played, Manarifa, whatever it was, we'll run and then we'll play a match and then we'll see you on Saturday. That was
it was somebody's dad, wasn't it? It was one of the kids' dads that just take session, and then all lads either decided that they liked his session or we moved on to the next dad. So, but I mean, I don't know whether it's good or bad, really. There's something to be said about like the Brazilian way, isn't there? Just like beach football, and just that's why they're all the touch. A touch, you can do as many drills as you want and stuff, and no doubt it makes them better and it makes them more like sharp on ball and stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of getting your touch like unbelievable, you just need to get some balls pinged into you on an horrible pitch, really, don't you, on a regular basis? That's why the circle thing where you put someone in the middle, if you did that for hours on end, that would be the best thing for you, really, because that defines the whole current game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm right in saying, I think it was Guardiola said that that's what Cruyff did when he went to Barca. They just did, I can't remember what they're called in ring.
Rondos.
He just did them for hours, and they were all like, we're going to, and they were like, no, this will immeasurably help you. And now you see him doing rondos, and it's like, it's like your eyes are bleeding. They're mind blowing, awesome at it. You can't get ball off them. It's like, I think the level of football is really underestimated now, though. Like how mint your bog standard shit player is, like how mint at football he is. And I know that's always been the case, but I just think technically, I watch a bit of Stephen Hendry's snooker podcast. I don't know if you watch it.
No.
It's pretty good. I'm shit at snooker, but it is a good podcast to get sort of players on. And they were all saying like how much better the standard of a shit player is, and how you can't just blow them away anymore. It's like they're all sort of in it, aren't they? And it's I think that with football, like the general centre mid now is just like a total boss at any lower level. He's a beast, and they push themselves to Premier League level, when in reality they'd be a top championship footballer, really.
Yeah. It's mad, mate, how the games come on, and it's all the sports science and that in it, mate. It's just changed the game on it, and from a young age, like I say, they think, it's going back. Look at the state of that. I need one of them. What Luke's got in chat. It's mad, mate. Football, love it though. Wouldn't have it.
It's the best sport in the world, isn't it? It's on another level. I don't know if I've got all else for you, Joe. Do you have anything to say?
Do I have anything to say? No, mate, I don't think so. A good-looking face, says Luke. Yeah, man. We're good-looking, me and you, mate. Both of us bald, bearded. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Bald, beard, and beauty.
Yeah.
BBs.
Where are you at, mate, in terms of... Liam says, can't remember last time... Because I need to cut my hair, mate. That's why, because this is what it looks like when I don't cut it. Look at the state of it, man. It's way back. It's grey outside and everything. How confident are you?
Just quickly, Joe, what's that about? Did you ever find those scissors and nail clippers?
How do you know about that? Have I told you that? Because if not, you're in my gaff. No, right?
Well, you...
Bro, they've disappeared. They have disappeared. A pair of nail clippers, right, and my scissors have disappeared, yeah? I don't know where at all, right? And I kept saying to my ex, have you took them to yours? Like, every time, and I'd be like, where are they? Then I spoke to my neighbour, and he went, when you're away, he said, I could tell you'd come in last night. I says, why? And he goes, because I can tell when you come in because you bang the door. Unlike when you're away and someone comes in, they do it right quiet. And I went, who comes in? Like, what you on about? No, I don't have no one coming in when I'm not here. And they were like, I don't know. So I'm like, is someone coming in, taking shit, and then like me going mental, going, where are they? And they're like moving shit around my house. And
well, how often do you use your nail clippers, though?
Well, just on my nails.
Is it like daily, like, gotta find my nail clippers?
No, because
where the fuck are they? I don't know why that's such a stressful.
No, because I needed nail clippers. I needed them, and like because I know they're not there where they normally are. I'm like, where are they? So it's doing my head in because I don't know where they are.
I'm gonna get you.
Every time I go in the shower, right? Say if I go in the shower and I'm getting my towel out, and then like there's a wash bag, and I'll go, I wonder if it's in that wash bag. So until I find them, they're just there. Where are they?
Clippergate says me.
Clippergate, Scissorgate. I don't know where them scissors are either. Yeah.
But to answer your question about us going up, yeah, I think I'm 100%, 99% going up.
Yeah. Good. If we don't, mate, it's game over, innit?
I honestly can't see a scenario. This idea that I don't even think we're on particular wobble. I honestly think we'll get back. Farke's going to have a long, hard couple of weeks himself into proper making a final decision. One thing that I said in my video the other day, Joe, that I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but whatever he goes with, I'm going to stick by it. But I personally don't want him to be chopping and changing, to be honest.
No, I don't either. And I think a lot of the fan base are glazing the Gnonto performance a little bit too much because they want to be right. Because they want to be right, bro. I genuinely feel it. Even the journals, I listened to Inside Ellen Road pod today and they were going, because they've been pushing it as well. And I just think we're overdoing what he did here. I think it was quality, but you're saying he changed the game and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he got us back into it. What about the other 40 minutes then? Why weren't he getting on the ball then and beating men and laying people in left, right, and centre? Created one big chance, we scored from it. Did he create another? So, and I know it was 10 times better than Aronson, people, before you come for me, but I'm just saying, like, it wasn't amazing. Because if it was amazing, we'd have fucking won the game and he'd have created loads. But he dropped, man. Not anymore, bro.
No. Yeah, for me with Gnonto, it's brilliant what he did. I don't really care. So, like, I agree with everything you've just said, but the rest of the 40 minutes, I don't care about. It's like he came on to do that, and that was it. But that won't work from the first minute. You can't just go, oh, well, you create one chance. If we don't score it, it's over. That's why Aronson's in there, because he provides the structure. Yeah. When it went 2-1 down, stick Gnonto on, because what's the worst that's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? He's going to lose ball in a couple of shit areas. He's going to not contribute much. But if you're relying on it, I think we're up against it when that happens. So, Lockie said, just caused a bit of chaos. And that is what he came on to do, and did it very effectively. How effective he was for the full 45 minutes, it doesn't matter. He did what he needed to do. Go, get on ball, turn on ball, try beat a couple of players, you just influence the game in a different way to Aronson. And he did that. And he'll go back to Aronson, and I think he should.
Yeah, I think so. Fan base will have a meltdown, but I agree. You know, there's some out there that just like, Rothwell has to play, and then you have to play Gnonto, and just we'll be all over the shop structurally, man.
Yeah.
We'll be so much more susceptible to the counter-attack than we already are.
Well, as I said the other day, Gnonto really dropped in deep, and Rothwell is the one that's actually trying to push forward, and Tanaka's not that deep. He's not Gruev deep. He's around sort of the middle at park, and Gruev sort of sits significantly further back just naturally. Yep. So if you've got Rothwell, Tanaka, and Gnonto, just Gnonto going literally wherever he wants.
Exactly.
Because he's not going to hold central. He has to get on the ball, doesn't he? So
yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what he does. But as I say, even if he goes with Gnonto, which he won't, but I just want him to stick with it for the 8 games. Whatever his decision is after this, it's like, I just want him to go with it. I don't want...
Has to, doesn't he?
I don't want a wobbly...
He can't appease fans and all that sort of stuff. No. And as long as he wins games of football, which I think he will, then we'll be all right, bro. We'll be all right. And then we'll have to get ready for the summer of, we should sack him. And then we lose first game of the season against a resurgent Man City. Sack him. And it'll just be like, just relax, man.
People are saying sack him anyway. When we go up,
already.
Because he's not good enough at Prem.
But the thing is, what really frustrates me, right? I know look, the law of averages tells you that there's a YouTuber out there that believes he should be sacked. But no one has the fucking cojones to say it. When I said Jesse should be sacked, I said it. I wish people would just, because come on, they do exist. I'm convinced. Yeah, man, just have the cojones and say he should go.
I did a video on that when it was all cracking off months and months ago, because I was literally like, I've not got a single problem with you if you're Farke out.
Yeah.
You're Farke out. I totally disagree with you, but fair enough, lad. But don't wait for the fall and then jump in on it saying, "Oh, I've been critical of this.
Yeah.
I've said this about the side for forever." It's like, don't try and just tell the truth.
Yeah.
True, nothing but the truth.
Let
me know that you're Farke out, and then I'll deal with it when it comes to it. You've always said that. Fair enough, man. Don't know. I don't know what you've been watching for the past 2 years, but fair enough.
Exactly.
It's going to be an interesting season. What's your main fixture, Joe? Just to finish, when we go up, what are your proper? I know that the madness is, isn't it? Even like your Crystal Palaces and stuff, they become so important, don't they? But like, what fixture are you like proper looking forward to?
Excited for?
Yeah, just like
Man United, obviously.
Yeah, can't help it. Yeah,
yeah, Man United. Man United. That's it, really.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just glad that we're back, or we will be back, mixing it with the big boys, and hopefully bloody a few noses. And the mad thing is, like, Jack, when I went up under Bielsa, I thought we could do well. I thought we would, do well, and we did. Next season, not asked. Give me 17th. Give me 17th, and I'll take it. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Under Bielsa, it was always like, come on, like let's. We can do this, but yeah. Speaks comments of beauty. Farke all season, it took it Portsmouth, get it, God.
It will be. It'll be mental when we go up next year and lose a couple. I've said before on yours, Anna, but if we go and win a few games to start with, it'll at least it'll dull it a little bit, and it won't be quite as wild.
Yeah. And you need to get off to a good start, mate. You can't let the rut set in.
No, because you can let the season can get away from you later on.
Yeah, like an opening day at Ellen Road against a mid-leveling team in the sun. Like, let's hope we can properly go for it. Get off to a good start. Because even though we got beat by Liverpool under Bielsa, it was amazing, wasn't it?
Amazing.
And then I think we went. Who was it? Sheffield? Did we? Was it? I can't remember. Week after.
I can't remember week after. To be fair, I actually can't. Yeah. I'm still. It sounds ludicrous, but I'm still half high off that Liverpool first ever game. I swear on my life, I remember I went out with both my brothers and a couple of my mates for that, and we went to we were talking afterwards, and we were just like, how mint are we though? Like, and like Klopp's reaction to that when he went over to Bielsa, and they were like, wow. We were like, what a game of football that was.
Yeah.
We never felt out of a game, did we, Bielsa?
No, never, mate. Never. All right, yeah, we beat Fulham 4-3. Helder Costa, I think.
Yeah, it was Costa, yeah. I remember singing Costa's praises for that. Costa's another one that you won't have liked, will you, Joe? But he was decent.
I liked Helder Costa, mate.
He was decent.
But then he was shit when we went Prem.
Yeah, but he was decent. We got a couple of girls in that. Yeah. I'm only messing. They're not good enough, but they're decent. People are so harsh on players, and it's like we needed Costa. Costa were brilliant when he was coming off at bench and stuff in Championship. He was ace.
Yeah.
Just became over-reliant on them players, that's all.
Yeah. And that's when I was talking about that reactionary stuff earlier. Everyone's so reactionary. Everyone was so quick to want to throw Ayling, Cooper in the bin. Last season, we could have probably done with them around, Luke Ayling, This season, we're so soft, I believe. I still stand by that. We've got a soft underbelly. We need a bit of physicality in there. We need some bastards, mate, to be honest, if I'm honest. And we could do with getting a few of them when we get promoted, if I'm honest, someone that's not going to take any shit. I've got a question for you, actually, before we finish up. Because I know this probably will split the fan base. And again, me and you are both quite emotional, so probably I agree. But Calvin Phillips back, yes or no?
It's easy for me, that.
Go on, it's a yes, innit?
I would, yeah.
Yeah, same, man, same. Every day.
Both emotionally and unemotionally.
Yeah.
I just think,
people think he's shit. Like, oh, he's rubbish. It's like, well, he's not, though, is he?
And what we're going to get in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you take that. If he'd never been at the club, you would take Calvin Phillips. If he'd gone up with somebody else and had been brilliant, played for England, had Michael Ballack tweeting about him, and you told everybody about that, and we're signing him as we go up, everybody would be like, oh, fucking hell, yeah, get behind him, though. I'm well up for it.
Yeah.
Because he's been here and everybody's fallen out with him for some unknown reason.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. And the people, and trust me, I will remind people that say it, because I think it will happen, He needs to come home. I think he needs to come home. And when he comes home, he will re-find the Calvin Phillips that we know is in there, right? That's my thing. And maybe I am sentimental, but I'm like, just bring the lad home. Let him bring his little one up around his family and all that. Trust me. And we won't pay nowhere near what Calvin's on. Calvin will accept a wage cut. He knows all this. Like, he'll know all this. He's earned his money, man. He got 150 grand, a 6-year deal. City will have to pay some of that up. Trust me, you see it on Under Kosh when they're like, oh, you want me to leave? Yeah, well, you can pay the rest of my contract up that I'm losing and that. And they do, because they're like, get them off the books. So Calvin is set for life. Bring the lad home and watch him. I had people last season, wouldn't even get on our...
Oh my God.
Be behind Gruev and that. And I'm like, you should. And now Gruev's worse than shit. And Gruev's terrible. I see ticks. I never want to see him in a Leeds shirt again. And you're like, what are you going on about, man? Really?
And you can't tell me
he's a player, man.
You can't tell me if he's sat on bench. And I've said this about players before, but you can't tell me that ain't good. That somebody like Phillips is on bench. Do you know what I mean? He's Leeds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, whatever that means nowadays.
Would you rather him than Gullivogi coming on to see a game?
Well, I don't know. I think we've not seen enough of it. He's not had enough minutes, has he? He needs some more minutes under him. Do you remember when Luke said
next time he comes on, bro, for 5 minutes, I'll go, how do you expect him to do something in 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Twist it on him, man.
Yeah,
that's all it needs.
Yeah.
No, so I just want to, on behalf of everybody that is watching, I want to thank Joe, the GOAT. I proper appreciate you coming on, dude. You're an absolute ledge. Thanks for giving me your time. Seems crazy how about a year ago, was it, that we properly started talking?
Yeah.
It seems I do literally class you as my mate now, which is absolutely not mad, but I feel like we're like video pals, which is like, it is kind of bizarre because it's it's the first time in my life that's ever happened. My mum would be like, always like your pen pal, ain't he? Like your pen pal. But yes, thanks for coming on, Joe. Honestly, you're a legend. But if everybody smash a like, go over to Joe's channel. I know there's no point me saying it because everybody in the chat watches you anyway, but it's just worth saying, get over to Joe's and support him because he's a legend and he deserves everything he gets, which could be seen as a diss because you normally say he deserves everything he gets.
Yeah.
I mean,
I am goat. I am goat.
Yes, man. I'll be live after this as well, guys. So I'm gonna have a few beers with you and we can discuss. We can start bitching about Joe behind his back when he's not here. We can tell the real truth, nothing but the truth. Take it easy, everybody. Cheers again, Joe. Speak to you soon.
Cheers, bro.
Boom.